Welcome to the Dawg Gus Show.
Now on Be Kind Radio.
Absolutely.
What's going on today?
We're going to chat with the guy, Mr. Goldstripes.
What's up, Goldstripes?
Here, I'm chilling. I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
We're great. Thanks for joining us. We're excited to chat with you for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for listeners like discovering you for the first time, who is Goldstripes?
Goldstripes is a very fortunate man who gets to make music full-time, producer, artist, audio engineer, arts educator, guitarist, but just fortunate to, make a living being creative and empowering other creatives.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
Yeah, it's a very good answer.
Yeah.
Where did Goldstripes come from?
I mean, I'm Canadian, I wasn't born here. I was born in Haiti, but I've been here most of my life. I came here when I was 3, so Ottawa, Ontario is home. I had some time in Toronto, about 5 years, but when I came back, I was like, I represent Ottawa, Ontario, so
Nice.
that's home.
And the name, like the name Goldstripes?
Goldstripes. I mean, it's funny, you come up with a name and it's supposed to mean something. I came to understand that Goldstripes is something I gave meaning. The truth is, I don't want to expose it, but I had a shirt with gold stripes and I thought it was really cool. So I became Goldstripes.
That's weird. It works. It works.
And there you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
We dug down deep and we found it.
That's right. In the first 2 minutes. It's fantastic. We got it all already. When did you realize music production was something you wanted to pursue professionally?
Professionally, there's that time your parents are pestering you to go to school. Everyone goes through that to some extent. And I just didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was just chilling with a friend and he brought me to one of his jams at a studio and they were playing metal. And I didn't care for metal, but I loved live music and being in the room with stacks of amps taller than me and just hearing the energy. I was like, this is crazy. And then the guy who was doing all the cabling and plugging everything in, I was just like, yo, where do you learn to do that? He's like, right here. And I'm like, okay, I've already been making beats. Making beats for fun is one thing. I didn't know it was for fun. I thought it was serious then. But when I saw him actually being a producer and an audio engineer, that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. So there you go.
What was the first piece of gear or software that made you feel like a real producer?
I would say, in this day and age, it's the computer. Once you get like FL Studio or something and you can arrange a piece of music as opposed to just write it or play it. When you can make some decisions as to what part is what and then kind of tell the story in a linear way a long time, that's when you're like, okay, I'm creating something that only matters within the context of listening to the whole thing. And maybe I'm a little bit more into production versus just creating sounds. So yeah,
Nice.
Definitely my computer.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I guess you'd think a board would be part of it too, but if you're now in the days now, they all have the nice, technology to work with. Right?
Yes.
What kind of music was playing in your house growing up?
Definitely Haitian music and I guess Haitian gospel. And I don't even know how to describe that, but it's definitely what's the soul music from the States,
Motown?
not necessarily Motown, more gospel.
Like Aretha?
Yeah, like the freedom music, I
Yeah.
would say. Like it sounds more like freedom music. And that was playing a lot. Just a lot of Haitian gospel was playing. My dad likes music from France as well. I guess that would be closer to the jazz of that time. So I was hearing a lot of that. There was some time, maybe a good 10, 15 years where do you remember that radio station 93.9? It was Cool FM at the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was on 24/7 for like 13 years. And I feel like the type of music that they played at that time had a lot more variety. And so I was just taking in everything from pop to EDM at the time. They had some dance music that was going crazy. And then a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of R&B in there, but I was just taking in everything. So that was also playing. I would go to sleep to that. I would wake up to the radio.
I was thinking Richie Havens for like some of that soul music from back in the day. You sang that song Freedom, which is like a powerful, powerful song. Who were your biggest influences when you started producing?
There was this guy, Ninth Wonder. When I first started producing, I never took a music course or anything. And just the circumstance of where I went to school. And so I had no idea what a bar was, what a measure was, a count, nothing. So when I started, it was really just clicking notes, maybe dabbling with piano, but really sampling was a big thing. And there's this producer named Ninth Wonder who was sampling the type of music that I really like to hear sampled. And that really inspired me. And then however you feel about him, Kanye West. I like Kanye West more than I like Ye. You know what I mean? That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Kanye
I
West was
still listen to some of his music from, back
yeah,
a little while back. So
yeah. No,
yeah,
he's top tier creative. So that really inspired me, whatever he was doing.
yeah.
Was there a specific album that changed how you heard music?
That's a good question. How I heard music. I feel like that changes all the time with every album I listen to. The
Who are you
start,
listening to right now? That's a good one to follow up.
Drake. I'm listening to Drake. I love Iceman. I'll tell you. There's
Fair
something
enough.
about it. There's something about the story of what he's talking about that I very much relate to. It's like he's not an underdog, but it's an underdog story somehow. And so that's one that's really it's on replay for me. I get distracted easily, and that's the first album in a while that I can listen to it. It actually helps me focus because I'm really into the music. But remember Columbia Records when they were sending CDs in the mail?
Mm-hmm.
I still owe the money, I think.
You still owe the money? Yeah, exactly. So somehow I ordered Snoop Dogg, the Dog Father, and Alanis Morissette, Jag a Little Pill. And I would listen
Wow.
to those back to back. And it was just like, I don't know where I was at, but I was loving both of them. So yeah.
Two
Wow.
really good albums. Two
Yeah.
really good. Yeah. Doggy Style was one of the first albums I ever got. And it was like,
It's not extreme at all, right? Like
oh my God.
it
Yeah.
doesn't go
Well,
one
it
way and
was-
this way. It's
yeah.
fine.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're both singing about something they're passionate about. One's a breakup and one's about being the dog father, baby.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vapors. I like that song. The Vapors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some skits in there that I should not have been listening to as a kid, but they were crazy.
Yeah. It's even in Doggy Style, like the part where he's like, the teacher's asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's like a firefighter. And then I'm going to be a motherfucking hustler.
You know what I mean? Crazy.
And I was probably 12. I shouldn't be listening to that shit, Yeah. Was it you or me?
You
Okay. What were some of the biggest mistakes you might have made early on?
Not finishing songs. And maybe that's everyone's mistake, but if you don't create the habit of finishing the songs that you start, it probably leads to you not believing in what you're doing as much because you never get through the hump of knowing something could be. And you're always like judging yourself too harshly. Like, I don't feel like anything else I could have learned. Like, I could have learned piano, but I don't regret not learning it. I wouldn't have interpreted or I wouldn't be in the place to interpret music the way I do now had I learned. Life would just be so different. But I feel I wanted to develop the habit of finishing what I start much sooner. But other than that, life is great and where I'm at is where I'm at. So
was there ever a moment when you thought about quitting?
yeah, definitely. When I wasn't getting the money.
Fair.
When I needed to eat. When I needed to eat food, I was just like, is this the right choice? And then, when you see all the homies start getting married and like that transition where from young adulthood to real adulthood, and you're like, everyone has a really good government job and everyone is buying a house and everyone is getting married and everyone's starting a family. And I'm like, man, like, is music the right decision, or would this seemingly more comfortable life be the decision I should have made? And still think about it, but I'm more than grateful now. So it is what it is, and here I am.
Yeah. And you may have hated it too. I mean, I would imagine a lot of people don't really like their job. They just do it for that, like you said, seemingly comfortable position.
Yeah, comfort's nice, like for real, but sometimes that's just the perspective of where you're at.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good way to say it. What kept you going during those difficult times?
I mean, it would be the fact that whenever I tried anything else, it just didn't work. I felt whenever I focused on music, I would get lucky, so to speak. It's like everything would work out for me. I would get opportunities. I would meet the right people. I would get the right energy. Whenever I strayed away and tried to just do things for the sake of getting money, it's like everything would just go downhill. And then the moment I would focus myself on music, and maybe it was about focusing on myself on becoming the type of person that succeeds at music, that would really push me towards keeping going. And then like last 5 years, everything just went really well.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should talk.
Yeah,
about
we're going to
that.
talk about that next. Great segue there, Goldstripes.
Nice
It's
segue.
like-
He is a producer, so he's
Yeah,
just putting
he's-
it. He's
here's what we
putting
need
it
to talk
in-
about
yeah,
next.
Thank you for sending us into that. Yeah.
Making us look good here.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it like hearing your name attached to a JUNO Award-winning project or JUNO winning project? Yeah.
Yeah, that was special. You always think that you want something big to come from your endeavors, and with that one Like the song we wrote, the song that I was part of writing is like 10 years back. I was in a very lucky position, right place, right time, connected with the right people. And someone gave me an opportunity. Maya gave me an opportunity to write with her. And she trusted some of the things that I was bringing to the table. And then 10 years later, almost 10 years later, it develops into a really powerful piece of music and project that she puts together about what she's going through and went through and got through, I would say. And then she's telling me, she championed me and kept telling me, this is your win too. And I was like, that's wild. There was a lot of imposter syndrome and still a little bit of it, but it validated the fact that the work I'm doing and what I bring to the table matters. And, it gave me a sense of value. So, you talked about what kept me going. That's another thing that kept me going.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Where were you when you found out?
I think I was in a studio session. I was in a studio session recording and working with one of my artists. And it was actually my friend who's actually super dope as well. Steve Foley, who runs Audio Valley, who texted me. He's like, you want a Juno? I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then I went and checked, and yeah,
Trip.
crazy.
That Steve has his pulse, his hand on the pulse, right?
Yeah, Steve's a great guy.
Yeah, we know
He's-
Steve. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a good
awesome.
guy. Yeah. Did winning change your career in any way? Like, did you have more people coming to you with this Juno nod?
Definitely. I would say it started open doors that I had like kind of got my fingers in, and I think one of the best parts is obviously winning a Juno or being part of a Juno award-winning project makes me look good, but all the communities that I had been part of and the people that had been helping me that I was helping, we all had a chance to kind of like use that as a community win. Like that's a win for Ottawa. I don't take that as just my own. And it's not even just my own. It's Maya's, it's her team's, and it's her for believing in me, and it's all the people in the city who have been believing in me when I was doing nothing, when I was quiet and just in my bedroom trying to produce something. All those people, they should be able to take that win. And if my name is the reason that people believe in that team, or we can get this grant, or we can travel to this place, or we can say that this matters, that is like what's really important. And I started getting some of those opportunities, and thankfully, because of what I bring to the table, what I can actually do and not just what I'm perceived to be able to do, that got me in rooms, and it kept me in rooms, and it's getting me to new rooms. So yeah.
It's super cool how that ball started rolling for you. That's great. What's
Yeah.
something nobody tells you about success in the music industry?
It's kind of contradictory. Like if you just chase success, it's like you're telling yourself and your soul that you don't have it, and that repels it. And it's more important for you to chase the habits of a successful person. Chase being on time, chase answering texts, answering emails, chase finishing projects and sending them when you said you would. It's not always perfect and it's not always easy. It takes effort. But if you just chase success and be transactional about what comes from it, I think that pushes it away.
I love when people bring in the law of attraction. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
When you found out from Steve, how did you celebrate?
Honestly, I was a little bit in shock. My friends had to celebrate for me. They're just like, yo, you need to wear this on your chest. Like, this ain't no. My friend, he texted me, City Fidelia. That's my homie. That's like one of my closest homies. He said, if you make this small, it will be small. And I took that to heart. And I said, I won't let this just be a thing that I like kind of brush under the rug and be like, yeah, I got a little win, cool. And so I did my best. I'm not a sore winner, I guess. I'm not a big celebrator like that. But I at least told my friends about it, and we got together, really talked. And I would say later in the year, I had a birthday, and I was like, I don't plan big birthdays, but this was the first time that I really put it together and invited people out, paid for them to eat, got food, and got a venue, and we did like a couple of speeches and really talked about the wins of the year. So that was my celebration.
Beautiful thing. I love that. And it's true. Like you can't just put it as a doorstop or something like that. You got to kind of be prominent with it. I guess sidebar, do you have the award? Do you have it prominent somewhere in your house, or did you?
Yeah, I have it. I have the certificate somewhere around here. But like I'm just moving, so I haven't hung it up yet.
Okay.
Next time if we ever do another one, this whole wall right here is gonna be full of my awards. But
That's right. And
yeah,
and albums, yeah, that'd be great.
exactly. My plaques. But yeah, I definitely have the certificate with my name on it. That's really cool.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Did winning the award create more pressure or future projects for you on future projects for you?
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I feel like the confidence of the validation of that just propelled me. I feel like I'm better now at doing this whole thing than I ever was. The pressure's always been there. I would say it alleviated pressure because now I believe I can do it. Before I was second guessing, analysis paralysis, thinking, is this right? Is this right? Now I just go with my gut feeling, let someone give me the critique on what could be fixed, and then we just pivot from there. So yeah, it was the exact opposite.
Well, you had a few people validate it for you. So it's a nice thing to hear from people saying, hey, man, we love your stuff. Just keep doing what you're doing. So walk us through the creative process from the blank session to the song ending or the finished song.
Yeah, I would say it's really important to have a conversation. Most songs, not every song, but most songs are going to land in certain places. Most of them are love songs, I love you, you love me. I don't love you, you don't love me. Or like a political song. And so it needs to be a conversation. Because if we're not writing about something authentic, then we fall into this place of just writing for the sake of the outcome. And obviously we want the outcome to be great. But again, we start from an idea that matters. I'll ask questions about what we're talking about, where we're talking about it, who we're talking to, and then how we want to say it. And then we start getting to some musical ideas that kind of fit the vibe. People talk about synesthesia. I don't know if I have it the way other people might say, but when I hear sounds or progressions or I visualize a scene, and the scene definitely has colors. It definitely, if it's darker, it might be purple. If it's brighter, it might be yellow. And, we talk about words that aren't necessarily musical words, but words that people will understand that are feeling oriented. And so we just have those conversations. Very often I'll pick up the guitar or play some samples or play on the piano. And as soon as I see something hit, I'll start building it. And I'll throw things at the wall until I hear someone start humming a melody. And then once I hear someone start humming, I know I need to start arranging in a way that they can get on the microphone as soon as possible. And then, a scratch vocal, some mumbling. I really like doing mumble melodies. We don't need words. We just need timing, energy, vibe, and some melody. And I think I said that, but we just keep going until something comes out. And then from there, we start chopping things up and arranging it until it makes sense and it feels good without needing the words. If we have words, we'll put them in there, and then we just tackle the words and see what we can do about making it cohesive and coherent.
So interesting. Synesthesia is such an interesting thing too, because so many singers and artists have it, and like they put a sound or a color or something with a taste, and it's like you taste something in your mouth when you feel something about it's an interesting thing. I find that a lot of artists have that, so it makes sense that you may have a piece of that as well. Are you someone who starts with drums, melody, vocals, or something else? You kind of went on the humming part first and then getting into it, but does it start somewhere other than
I feel like it depends on what I'm trying to get to. Like, let's say I have a reference track, like there's another song I kind of want to match the energy of. Often I'll start with the drums because I feel like the rhythmic element is what's really driving the energy. And so I'll at least start with the drums to try to match the tempo, the pace, so that I can lock that in, and then I'll play whatever I want over it. If it's something of my own, or if it's something with a new artist and we're starting from scratch, often I'll start with melody because I feel like that's more it's more emotional. It's more connected to their feelings. And then we can really tap into what they want to express. And then we'll talk about the drums and then go from there. So yeah, it really depends on what the direction I'm trying to go, and whatever is like the most prominent feeling in the song.
Interesting.
What separates a good artist from a great artist?
I think it's a lot of small things that become more than the sum of their parts. Like, it's not just like being incredibly talented. It's not just about having like good vision. It's not just about but all those things matter, of course, good, a high level of authenticity or integrity. But when they all come together and become something more, also, like, a good singer is different from a good artist, and a good writer is different from a good artist. Like, there can be people who are great at those things and write songs in minutes or sing the best melodies with the best tone ever. But being an artist, there's like the profession of artist, which is like, there's like a performance aspect to it that isn't just on stage. Like, you really got to sell the brand of yourself. And then there's artists who are artists by like virtue. Like they're so creative and everything they do is brand, but they don't necessarily sell it properly. They may, but that's not necessarily part of what they care about. So if we're talking about the profession of an artist, like you got to have a holistic approach, but also be good at all of it. That can make you great. Sometimes you can be great at one thing, but you have to be exceptionally great to make up for the other things. But if I could put it down to one, it's got to be like your ability to connect to your audience. All those things need to come together, and you need to be able to connect authentically to the people who care about you, who like you, who listen to you, and they need to be able to feel themselves in your art. And then that really will change what you're doing.
This is like the best answer ever for any artists out there that are thinking of what's going on. On that note, like just off that, do you find that social media is a really big part of it because of that, like you said, branding and making sure that you connect with people, and so many people are connecting through social media? Is it that a big portion of it now?
Unfortunately, because I think social media, the way it is now, is it's not conducive. Well, actually, it's like almost exactly what an artist need, but the companies that run them aren't necessarily like serving artists. They're serving trends. And there is an aspect of artistry that matters in trends, but everyone just chases trends, and it's like everyone sells out. And I was talking to my artist today. You know, everyone's got these hooks. They're just like, I'm playing this so I can find my community. And I had to tell her, like, I don't think you as an artist should look for your community. I think your community should be looking for you. And I think the space that you create needs to feel so uniquely you, so that when someone lands there, they're not questioning, is this good? They're questioning, is this for me? Do I relate to this? Because most of the time, it's always a like, is this you? I know we all love it when we find a song or an artist that like you actually feel something. Like the magic of your emotions is triggered despite what's going on in your life. At that moment, you're locked in, and that's deeper than whatever social media is serving. Because social media wants you to worry about your aspect ratio, about your hooks, about your your data analytics, how many views, and your video retention, and like that stuff to me stresses me out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Very true.
yeah.
Have you ever worked on a song that you knew immediately was something special?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And I find like, flow state, sometimes you're just working on something. Often when I'm working on something that has to do with either teaching someone or experimenting with the technology. Whenever someone sits down and I'm just like, yo, check this out. I got this new VST, this new app. I show them, yo, you could do this cool thing. You could do this cool thing. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this sounds incredible. And if I can go from that, this sounds incredible starting point to I have a whole flow, and I have a whole, like all my arrangement and transitions happened within like 2 hours, and I didn't get bored or hungry or thirsty. I didn't need to go to the bathroom. I didn't need to leave that spot. And I show it to a friend and they're like, whoa, something's going on here. We know we got something. And I have a song, like I'm dabbling into my own artistry, and I have a song, I call it my mumble banger, because I have like 5 words, but everything else is just me mumbling. And I even have like mumble harmonies and mumble ad-libs just to kind of arrange the idea. But there's no sentence structure anywhere, but we all know that this is a hit. And I'm just like, man, I just need to like sit down and finish that one.
Put it together. Yeah. What's the strangest thing you've done to get the perfect sound?
I'm not one of those guys that's going to go to my kitchen and like hit a pot or pan or something, but it's not, I would not do that. I'm just trying to think. I mean, it's definitely some sort of field recording. It might have been like taking audio from one of my just like videos on my phone that I just recorded out of nowhere and then like chopped it up. It was probably like a vocal, and I really stretched it out to make it like a melody. I used to do that a lot more before. Now I'm a little bit more, just trying to play some instruments. But yeah, I'm much more into messing with like the technology of VSTs or like an effect essentially. And like if you've ever played with like a delay effect, sometimes when you change the timing of it, it's going to stretch the input so that it gets more high or low pitch depending on what you're doing. So if like you record that, it sounds really cool. That's one of the things I've done for sure.
What? Yeah, I played with that a couple times.
Yeah.
Even on our Roadcaster, we kind of
That's
sound
what
effects. Yeah.
But we're not very good.
We're
at that,
not quite. Sure.
No. We don't try it that much.
Yeah, exactly.
What do artists misunderstand most about producers?
Maybe that producers are artists as well. Like I feel like artists, like I guess singers in this case, when they are writing their words and putting together their melodies, the producer cares just as much about what he's done with that beat or that production as you do about your words. And he probably also has an opinion, like a very strong opinion. Actually, artists maybe know that, but a very strong opinion about the direction of the song. And it's not like, at least to me, it's not just like a beat that I'm just throwing away. Like, I want my song to live in a way that your melodies and your lyrics live. And I'd much rather us come together to an understanding of how those things can really match each other and become one piece instead of just your song and my beat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. How do you handle creative disagreements in the studio?
You got to ask questions. The studio is a very intimate place, and everyone is kind of taking down their armor and bringing down their shields to express themselves in a way that makes sense. And so a disagreement in the studio means that we just ask questions. That's how I handle it. I ask questions about intention. For instance, if someone says we should do this and I'm finding that it is destroying the integrity of the music, I'm going to be like, why? What do you get from this? What is this part adding to this song? Is it a matter of you need it to land here? Can it land there? Because the way I'm hearing it, we're missing this part of it, and it seems like there's too abrupt of a change, or like I call it an energy leak. Whenever you're so engulfed in the song, but this moment happens, and all of a sudden you kind of, this is the moment where everyone's gonna start asking what you had for dinner or how the weather is. You know, like you ever heard a song and then at some point in the song you're just like, I'm gonna go for a cigarette. Like that's what I do not want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, that's
At any point in the studio, have you ever, you want to get something out of your artist and you want them to find it organically, and do you have ways of like saying things to them to get them to where you need them to be?
I mean, definitely. That's again part of that communication.
Mhm.
Sometimes you got to be abrupt, but I never want any artist in the studio to lose confidence in what they're bringing to the table. So there's always a graceful approach and it comes down to asking questions like, what is your intention? And can we try getting there? I would say an example that really fits with that is trying to get the right pronunciation. And sometimes I'll end up not necessarily making up a word, but I'll put two words together and be like, pronounce it like it's one word. And imagine that it's not these two different words, but pronounce it like this. And then this way we can see how it sounds. And they'll try it and it'll give me the tone that I'm looking for. And they're saying exactly what they meant to say without us having to change a lyric. But yeah, it comes down to asking the right questions and, always be open to the position someone wants to take and see what is like a non-negotiable for that moment versus what is going to work for the song. Because the song is always the biggest ego. And we've heard that someone say that before. But yeah, like you want the song to be great. If someone's in the studio trying to prove themselves, I think we got other things to talk about.
Yeah, it seems like a good answer. I was gonna say, is there a common trait among the best artists you've worked with?
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're confident, but they're also open to suggestion. Anyone who comes in the studio who's really just open to understanding what we all bring to the table, they'll tell me, Goldstripes, do whatever you want to do, and we'll figure it out from there. And then we get to learn each other. We get to trust each other. So the common thing for the best artists is like we have trust. They trust me, I trust them. We build trust together. And yeah.
He's reading our questions again.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh man. So what makes a studio session successful?
I understand. Yeah, for sure. It's obviously it's the trust. Like we got to get along. You have to like what I do. And ideally it's not you liking what you think I do will get you. Like we got to have an understanding of each other. Like a previous answer, like I'm an artist too. Not just in the sense that I'm singing my songs, but as a producer, as a beat maker, composer, I have some ideas. And what I do is very much what Goldstripes does. I'm not just they call a type beat producer. I wish I could figure it out, but what I'm doing, you're going to know it's me. You're going to know based off the decisions I make. So if you're coming to me, hopefully it's because you understand what I'm doing is something that we can benefit from together and not just something that you think you can benefit from. So yeah, a successful session is us coming to a mutual understanding of trust.
I think he's very, you're very, I find you very even keel, so I think you could probably handle anything that comes your way, I would imagine. So
I try.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How has AI changed music production?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I have a lot to say on that. To some extent, I really appreciate it because AI has allowed me to get perspectives of musical ideas that I never would have been able to think of as quickly. And so my journey through it, I would put some songs in there. I put songs that I wrote in there, and I asked for different versions, and it gave me some incredible music. Another thing is, like, often I'm looking for songs just that make me feel something. And AI was the first time in a long time that I could kind of instantly create something that I felt. And I would call it synthetic shivers, because it's not real. It's not real people. It's like this machine regurgitating something that's been great. But that's just it. It's been great. So it's really important that every producer, beat maker, artist that uses AI knows that you still need to be the curator. Like, if you're using AI to be the final output of your music, I think you're missing the mark of its capability and capacity. But if you use it as a tool to learn how to enhance what you're doing, or maybe just a tool to get pieces and parts from to add to what you're doing, I think there's a lot of benefit there. The scary part, of course, is that it is learning from us. But I think that is more of a threat to copyright law, which I think is a mess anyways, than it is to creativity. Because, like, if we're talking about creativity, like, any tool that would just pump out new ideas that you could learn from, like, why is that a terrible thing? Again, there is something to say about the ownership, and there is something to say about people who have no creative bone in their body all of a sudden being able to come up with something. But I mean, back in the day, for you to create a song, you had to have access to a really big studio and a really amazing engineer and really amazing musicians. And I wouldn't have gotten where I'm at had it not been for programs like FL Studio that let me click in things without the knowledge of theory. And in one sense, that is the AI of that time. I probably wouldn't be able to sing certain songs. There'd probably be so many people who wouldn't be able to sing certain songs without the AI that's built into autotune. There'd probably be people that wouldn't be able to figure out their drum rhythms without being able to hit a shortcut that auto quantizes all their music. So, and like where AI is right now is it's really like a sophisticated like language interpretation software. The options that we have have always been there. It's just we can access them that much faster. It's not the real AI that people are afraid of that is coming soon. So we can be scared then, but
Yeah.
for now it's like a language model. And I think if you don't like at least understand how to use it or what it sounds like, because truthfully all the AI songs kind of sound similar. So if you don't go and like understand what that is, you're going to get lost in people who are like better singers, better guitarists, better producers, better engineers who use AI to enhance what they're already great at. So, it has its pros, it has its cons, but like any technology, you're probably better off gaining an understanding of it.
Yes.
Just use it for the tool that it's meant to be, right?
I think
Yeah.
the important thing that he said was be the curator
Mhm,
still. Like,
mhm.
it's
a tool. It's a tool.
Exactly, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like you said. It's not your end product. It's helping you get to where you need to be,
Yeah,
but not essentially taking over what you're trying to do.
definitely.
So you think we're entering a golden age of independent artists?
I mean, I don't know. We're in a scary place because, okay, back to the AI question, AI music is one thing, but like AI everything else is even crazier. And I think being an artist now is a scary thing because it's not as much about the art as much as it is about the brand of the artist. And that social media question, like that's what really clicks now, because you can be the best at what you do, but if you don't know how to garner your fan base and set up your profile and use the right hooks, are you getting what you need out of your people? And if that's the case, then is this really about artists, or is this more about the golden age of content creators? Like the biggest musicians now are streamers who make music and not so much musicians who make music. So I would say not really. I think we just missed it. We just missed the golden age of independent artists. It just passed, and now we're in the golden age of content creators. But maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I see it.
Interesting. What advice would you give someone trying to build a music career in 2026? Work with Goldstripes?
Exactly.
Yes.
Now I was gonna say, find the right people. Like in this age of technology, we've always been in it, but if you find the right people and know how to really, this is a people business. If you know how to talk to people, if you know how to build and maintain strong relationships, if you know how to own up and be accountable for all the things, accountable to yourself and show up, I think that goes a really, really, really long way. And obviously, it actually needs to be a prerequisite that you're good at what you do, at least up to a certain extent. Like, you don't need to be a master, but you maybe need to be striving for mastery, because it's surprising how much trying to master one thing develops all these transferable skills into everything else you do. And have some patience, get really lucky, develop, like, put yourself in the position to be lucky, develop a strong mindset, believe in yourself, and like go learn an instrument. Like it's invaluable. Like the start of my production journey was just on the computer, and then I saw how vibrating air hits different. So I taught myself guitar. And then from that, I kept trying to learn more instruments. And I play, a bit of piano, a little bit of drums. And I just kept listening, really, really listening. And that's really important too. Like
Getting an giving an he's giving an education.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is important.
Yes. Listen to this, all of it. What trends excite you right now?
I don't know if I'm on top of all the trends right now. Like, I'll be on TikTok a little bit and just see what new style of music is popping up. I'm interested in the new rage music, like, I know this can sound crazy, but like whatever the style, like the Playboy Cardi and like Kanye West's daughter, North, like whatever really amped up hyper pop type rap music they're doing, I find it interesting. I always want to try it a little bit. But yeah. I just like to see what's happening with trends, like whether I'm going to get into it or not. I don't know. But like at this point, you both know, like, how many cycles have you seen of different music popularity go up here and go down there? And, like, so many things change. Guitar is popular for 5 years, and then all of a sudden no one's playing guitar. And then all of a sudden distortion's the brand new thing that everyone just discovered. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's been around a little while.
Distortion? Maybe a few years. Yeah.
There's one legend that comes to mind really fast with that.
Yeah, kind of comes to mind. He was an okay guitar player too.
The greatest of all time, in my opinion. It's another discussion.
Yeah.
We like to do rapid fire if you're up for that.
Okay, we can try.
Yeah, fair. Analog or digital?
Analog.
Best concert you've ever attended?
In Montreal?
No, he was here.
I think I saw the one in Montreal on the. He was his. Anyways, that's irrelevant. You're the guest. One producer everyone should study.
Okay, Just Blaze.
Ooh, most underrated artist right now?
Me. No, that's
yes, that's the best answer.
I love that you said that. Coffee or energy drinks in the studio?
Energy drinks. That's crazy.
Yeah, fair.
It's good,
Favorite,
but like,
yeah, they are.
They'll get you jacked up,
man.
Yeah.
Favorite piece of gear?
Nice. One album you can listen to forever.
It's gonna change, but man. Okay, Fuji's The Score.
There you go.
Okay, sidebar. Okay, sidebar. I love that album. I love that group. Is Lauryn Hill the greatest female hip hop artist of all time? She was very diverse. She could also sing very well, obviously, but
for me, it would be between her and Missy Elliott.
Ooh,
yeah, fair. But for me, it's Lauryn Hill. It's always been Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, that's honestly, I cannot argue with that.
Yeah, because Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was like
insane,
a perfect album. Like
actually a perfect album. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Dream artist to produce.
Rapid fire. It's not coming to mind. Leon Thomas.
Nice. Biggest pet peeve in the studio.
Like, know the word, like just the ego, I guess. Like when people don't want to like be open to anything, when they just hard stop, and maybe disrespectful hard stops.
There you go.
Fair.
That's a pet peeve all around.
Yeah.
Song you wish you had produced.
No, I'm gonna give it to her right now. She's a local artist. Her name is Samora. She just put out a song. She's getting the shout out because Nightfall. It's called Nightfall. I told her this. I heard that song, and like sometimes you hear songs and like because it's guitar based too, and it's like in the chords that I like. I'm like, man, how come I didn't think of that? Whatever.
If you weren't making music, what would you be doing?
Playing music count? Like this? I have to do something else. I'd be teaching.
That's good. Yeah,
I'd be teaching.
That's a good answer.
Or therapy. Therapizing the folks.
Well, you are a therapist, a music therapist. Yep. Music is therapy.
It is. What's the next chapter for Goldstripes?
Releasing my own music. That was an easy one. There's like a cliff I have to jump off. I released my own like a couple of years ago and released something like this year, but like really taking the dive to become like a one-stop shop that can also release for himself. I want to really get to the point where I understand being an artist as a profession versus just an artist as a creative.
Nice. What project are you most excited about right now?
It's feeling like vanity right now. My own project. Like,
That's
yeah.
why you're here.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
You've done lots for others. You can
Yeah.
answer it what you
Yeah.
need to do, you know?
No, definitely. I have an EP I'm working on for myself with a lot of songs that I care deeply about, both for like the content, but they push me to be that much better. And they'll show a side of me that I'm sure many people haven't had a chance to really see. And it'll show me that I can do what I put my mind to. So that's really important to me.
Well, we look forward to that.
Yeah, I'm stoked to hear that for sure.
What's the one thing you'd like listeners to remember about your journey?
It's a mindset thing. Like I never gave up, and I know that might sound cliche, but you really got to have the mindset that everything kind of resolves itself, and you can't like put too much stake in anything. You're very fortunate to be living in a place where you can try to go for your dreams. You know, the world is a crazy place, and I don't know who would see this if they're out in another place in the world where it's war torn, or if they're in Ottawa. But if you have the great fortune to even think about your dream and to dream it and to try to go for it, like you got to have the mindset that you can, and you need to stop being negative. I was a negative person once, and then one day someone said, "Bro, you don't even complain anymore," and that meant so much to me because climbing out of that trench was so important. And I would wish for anyone who's striving to do anything to believe in yourself, like for real. Sounds cliche, but like really believe in yourself on a long-term basis, not just today, but like 6 months from now, you'll be fine, ideally.
Yeah, that's really good. It's like, it's hard to forget. You forget that we are in a pretty lucky spot. It's natural to forget. And then you just, you got to kind of check yourself, which is great. If you could sit down with any musician, producer, or artist in history for 1 hour, who would it be and what would you ask them?
Hour. This is like that dinner question with Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'd sit down and be like, "Yo, where's that 500,000? Give me that money instead." It'd be Kanye West. And I'd probably talk to him just about like his life, because I'm convinced that he has experienced and seen things that most people, normal people, can't really grasp. And I have to imagine, because of the craziness that he says and like where his mind's at, the healthy parts and the unhealthy parts, like he just has a perspective that is so vastly different from mine. And I imagine there's something to learn for sure. And that's someone who, to a fault, has believed in themselves at the highest level. And I hopefully it never gets to a point of hubris, but I want to believe in myself and to understand what it's like to really be so confident and pray enough that I can stay humble, you know?
Yes. Yes.
It's a fine line for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to ask?
I thought you were going to ask the last question.
I thought you were going to ask our question, but okay.
I'll ask the last question.
All right, go ahead.
No, you're asking that, and then I'll ask the 80s or 90s.
Okay. What is it? What does making it mean to you today?
Making it to me means a full-time living that helps me afford all the benefits and blessings to my family, especially my son. I want to be in a position where I have the resource to always bring him into the spaces that are empowering, musical, and get him to have all the opportunity that I didn't necessarily have. From like having music courses, but maybe just knowing that his family loves him with like at the highest level, you know? Being a kid and not necessarily having people believe in you, the closest people believe in you, or even feeling that way is really tough. And literally everyone goes through it. But if I could make it to a point where I have all the resources to allow that for him, that's what that means. And if that is full-time for music up to the point where I get my villa, you know, I got the villa dream. That's what it is.
It's great. We ask everybody that's in history that's been on this show in our history, and the 2 decades of music are discussed. So the 80s decade of music or the 90s, and you have to pick one.
90s. I'm so sorry. It's 90s.
No, don't be sorry.
Yeah, he's going to say that. Don't be sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not even. It's not even a question. It's 90s.
Yeah, fair.
It's 90s. Sorry to anyone who disagrees with me. That's what I really meant to say.
That's hilarious.
There's no real disagreement. It's just, you're wrong.
Like I was gonna say I'm right. You're wrong.
I'm right. We're right. We're right. We're right, Goldstripes. We're right.
It's 2 against 1. So you're right.
Hip hop was the.
That's what I'm saying. The 80s was special, but the technology and how fast it went in the 90s and what it did to music, I don't know what we're talking about.
Dr. Dre, man. Dr. Dre.
Oh,
Although he
All
started
right.
in the 80s.
All
So we'll
right.
give him
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
but
You guys tend to forget that part.
Well,
I mean-
he crafted the best stuff that he could in the 90s.
Fine.
That's
fine.
correct.
He
And that was smart.
learned from the 80s.
Yeah.
And became Dr. Dre.
So
in the
which
89.
which one's more important then? If he learned from the 80s?
What he created in the 90s.
Wrong.
Is it where you start or where you finish?
Exactly.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right. And he ain't finished.
He ain't finished.
Goldstripes, thank you so much. We really appreciate you, and good luck at the CMAs. We'll see you there. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
Hopefully, you can beat out Steve for that.
Yeah. He's won enough.
He's incredible though. He really is incredible. Like everyone who got nominated is super incredible. And like, you know, it's a win for all of us. Obviously I want to win because I want to win, but whoever gets it is still super dope. So
Yeah, it's gonna be fun week. They've really done a good
Absolutely.
job with it. So
Yeah.
thanks, buddy. We hope to see you soon.
definitely. Thank you again.